there were other weird things happening in the house. So in the same room where I saw my sister, okay, so that's my sister's room, right, where she was playing the computer. I wanted to sleep there one night. So as I was falling asleep, I saw hands with long claws like scratching the mosquito net of the window.
Did you see that like clearly?
No, it was more like a silhouette, but what I saw was like woman hands. It was two hands, and like she had long nails, and she was just like scratching it, and I closed my eyes, but I could hear the sound. It was like, you know,
yeah, mosquito net.
Yeah,
right?
mosquito net, right? So she
like
was just scratching it, just like that.
How long did I go on for?
It went on for quite a while till I fell asleep. Like I literally had to force myself to sleep. Right. Thing is, when I woke up the next day, I saw the rip. There was a rip.
Oh,
that was finally ripped. Like
that's nails.
Yeah, there's nail rip, but it was like. It could have been a cat, but I don't think it was a cat because I saw the hands. And it was even though it was a silhouette, I saw the hands like go like that.
Did you hear anything else aside from the scratches? Like, was there any?
No, that was just it in that night. But at another time, yeah, I did.
Another time.
I was like,
what?
Yeah. So okay, so my room is near the kitchen, right? And the kitchen behind the kitchen is the back door to where the graveyard is, right?
Right. No.
So
there's a graveyard. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you said the graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay. So in my room, I had a piano in there, by the way. So my biggest fear was the piano would be making sounds, right?
Right. Yes.
In this case, it wasn't a piano. So when I was falling asleep at night, I saw. Okay, wait. Let me just explain to you where my bed was positioned.
Right, okay.
So my bed was here. This is the wall, and then there's the window. There's the window, right? So it was pretty much right next to the window, and which is the outside.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So I heard sounds. It was like. It was like close to me. Like it was. I don't know what it was.
It sounded like it was right next to you.
It sounded like it was right next to me. I don't know what it was, but that was what I heard, and I know that there was no one. And it was like at 2 a.m. or something, and like everyone in the house was asleep. You couldn't hear anything but like the crickets outside, right? And that sound. It was a sound of someone. It was almost like a bunch of gremlins or something was like outside of my window, like having a conversation,
to each other.
just going and like giggling with each other, you know.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds more like maybe toyol.
Toyol.
Maybe toyols are usually little small.
That's why I say
childlike.
That's why I say gremlin, right? They're like toyol, right?
Yeah, sure.
But
you know the saying, right, about when you hear those little whispers, or like the saying goes, I mean, this is what's been told to me lah. Like when it sounds like the whispers are right next to your ear, they're actually really far away.
Oh yeah, I've heard this.
I heard that as well.
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
And if it's really far away, it's right next to you. So it's trying to trick you.
This one happens probably about 4 years ago. So secret place, some training, military stuff, blah 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 blah. So we were there for a few days. Tak makan, to survival thing. I'm not going to tell the details of it. But point is, we have to sleep in like a, I wouldn't say fortress. What do you call it? Smaller. You have to dig
like a bunker.
Stronghold.
Okay.
A stronghold. So we have to sleep in there, and it really feels like claustrophobic, kubo lah. So I never like to sleep in there. So I sleep on top, but by right you have to sleep inside lah. So but I always like, sebab dalam is like there's can you imagine like a stronghold, then it's like probably as deep as this table to ground. So probably 2 people je masuk.
Betul-betul macam
kubu. Yeah, it is a kubu. We can shoot dari dalam.
Oh wow.
I don't like that feeling because
it's claustrophobic lah.
Then that is one thing, and the other thing is because lain daripada claustrophobic, the small animals. I mean, but we play with it lah. Now we're talking more, like snakes or whatever. Sebab lubang dia kecil, nak lari kan, in case of anything. And we do even cook inside the stronghold. Because yelah, I mean takkan lah you nak cook kat luar then enemy nampak lah, right? So
this is your training kan?
Yeah,
training
for that.
Wow.
So all that okay, tak ada problem lah tu, alhamdulillah, the nature blah blah. Adalah snakes blah. One day the second last day I saw a snake, and that is the route where we all go to the toilet tau. So kat pokok kan. So viper, it's not cobra but viper pun kena.
Yeah.
So a friend of mine told me there's this one night, because he ran away. I was sleeping on top of the stronghold, so I tak nak
masuk lah.
I mean one panas and all that lah. Tak adalah panas, but I just don't want to be there. So I duduk atas lah. So he was lepaking with me, a soldier lah. He was lepaking with me, and he ran.
What do you mean? He ran from what?
He dari borak macam ni, borak, and then dah nak tidur, nak borak, and he ran.
He got up.
He like that, and he ran. And then another guy was there, and then he told me the story the next day. He says that, they believe at all these places kan ada yang pengawal or stuff like that lah. I don't know what pangkat or whatever, I don't know lah, but pengawal.
Of course.
So that person was, they say like macam orang tua perempuan. Orang tua perempuan, and I don't know whether that person is like menjaga me or just like close to me.
Right.
But they say it's like besides me or like here lah, like guarding me or like
watching over you kind of thing.
I don't know, guarding or like following or whatever lah.
Right.
So that guy ran, and he doesn't want to say it until we chow from that place. Then he told me the story.
So this pengawal memang jaga you lah?
I don't know.
I don't know. It just so happens behind you.
Yeah, but the guy ran.
Yeah.
He just
I expected him to protect me, man.
Soldier.
I expect.
He's like, fuck this. He
I
ran.
expect him to protect me.
Like, hello, I'm out of here.
I'm city boy, right?
So dia lari, and then you just terkejut.
I didn't know.
You terkejut. And
This
then,
whole thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably had felt macam when
Adalah,
the Naik Bulu thing, goosebump thing we can feel, but besides that I tak ada nampak macam tak ada. Tak ada till he told me like the next day, and itu pun not there bila kita chow baru. Because tak kira lah soldier ke bukan soldier, at the end of the day kita individually have this personal fear or belief on things. Tak kira lah soldier ke apa. So that person probably had that strong belief in that.
Wow.
Probably he's a good actor. but no.
Tu soldier, wasn't an actor. So the next day dia yang cerita engkau.
Dia cerita, dia cerita not just to me lah, to
what he saw.
He saw.
Kau nak tanya asal kau lari?
Tanya lah.
Apa dia cakap?
He's like, dia kata dia takut. No, but serious, on a serious note, I did ask him. Because like, what the fuck, right? Kau kena jaga aku. Kau patutnya kan. And kenapa kau lari? I was really trying to clear her. Kenapa kau tak bagi tahu aku? Nak bagi tahu macam mana? Kenapa kau habis kalau benda jadi apa kat aku? Tak.
He just panic lah.
Dia panic.
Okay, so the story goes like this. There's this guy, okay, not a boyfriend or whatever, just a guy that I used to know a long time back when I used to run like a modeling agency. Okay, so anyway, we lost touch for like a long time, and then all of a sudden he added me on Instagram. And then we started talking. So I'm like, hey, how are you, whatever. And then he was like, hey Rosie, let's do some business together. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. And then he goes on to sending me like screenshots of like his like your statistics, your profile, what you call it,
like your
where
portfolio.
you can see your engagements on your social media
Analytics. Right.
Insights.
Yeah, your insights.
Insights there. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I find this guy sounds serious about it, and because I do photography, he's like, so you can do the photos and the content, and then I can kind of sell it.
Okay.
So he's big on Instagram and whatever not he was on. So okay, fine. I said okay, and then I went on to setting a date to meet him. So I went to meet him, and when I was there, it was just like a mama stall, kind of like a mama warung, but like a shop lah, right?
Right.
I went there, and he was there, so he said hi and whatever, and I realized that there was a long line of people waiting to see him. So I thought, okay, that's weird.
Okay.
Because he asked me to come on like this time. So I thought, okay, maybe he just decided to put all of his meetings at the same time and I had to wait my turn, whatever. So while waiting for him, there was like this abang that was sitting on the next table.
Okay.
And then for some reason he was looking at me and I was looking at him. You know, you have that with some people where you're like,
Like checking each other out?
Macam kenal or
macam kenal or
but-
like,
More like intrigued.
yeah, no, let's be friends kind of thing.
Right.
So because I didn't want things to be awkward, so I'm like, hi, abang. So I went to sit with him because I'm alone there, right? I went to sit with him and he felt safe. And then so when I was just taking my chair to put it next to him, I picked up on silat. Yeah. So
Okay. What do you mean by you picked up on silat?
that means the energy is coming from him that he does silat.
Right.
Okay, so when I sat down, I just asked him casually, so abang buat silat ya? And then he was like, yeah, so what do you do? So I was telling him what I did and whatnot. And then he was like, how come you can pick up on my silat thing? You ada ilmu apa-apa ke? I'm like, tak ada. I'm like, no. I'm just sensitive to these things. So he's like, oh, okay. So he was showing me what he does. So he actually is paranormal investigator.
Whoa, we gotta get him on the show. Maybe not him though.
He has a full-blown YouTube channel
Oh wow. Okay.
on
Okay.
like how he would chase spirits out of places,
Okay.
Okay.
So he's kind of like an exorcist.
exorcist, but
Yeah.
like a Muslim.
Yeah.
But he was nice though. He was just very he was almost his energy was like he was a very protective abang,
Okay.
like an elder brother.
Okay, yeah.
So he was showing me footages of how he would like do exorcisms and like schools and things like that, and in the videos he's like yelling and saying like, in the name of God, you gotta get out of here, these students need to learn,
Yeah.
It's
So
like
I'm like, okay.
movie stuff, right?
Yeah,
Right.
kind of scary, but at that time I was really brave.
Okay.
When it was my turn to see this guy who's supposed to do business with me, no one was around anymore. It was just me and another younger boy. So at this time I saw this young boy. This guy told him to go to the 7E, and he came back with like 3 bottles of milk in a bag.
Strange.
Yes. I saw it and I'm like, kenapa beli susu tiba-tiba? So I'm like, okay, what is this? But I didn't think anything of it because it's just a young boy.
Right.
So, and then we were talking, me and this guy that was supposed to do this whole meetup about doing business together, and he wasn't even talking about anything businessy. And I don't know why, all of a sudden he asked me like, okay, bear in mind this time, the shop lot, the shutters were halfway down. I was in the
Yeah. Okay.
I
Red
was in-
flag.
Red flag. Time to run, Rosie. Might still give it a chance because he was still polite. I was seated inside at the table near the shutter. Thank God that I could run anytime, but I didn't though. This guy suddenly goes like, you belakang you sakit-sakit ke? Ada sakit belakang ke? I buat fitness, I boleh tolong betulkan balik. I'm like, okay, well, no, it's okay. I don't need anyone to like correct my spine or whatever. It's fine. I'm okay. And then he's like, no lah, come, let me crack your spine for you or something like that. He said. And then for some reason, I said, okay, because I am a dumbass.
Oh dear. Okay.
So when he was about to come to me, he told me to put my hand up. Okay? So, dumbass Rosie put her hand up. He put his hand on my spine and for some reason said a Malay prayer word that totally changed my whole perception of life in general, and I felt something shoot up my toes all the way up to my ankles, all the way up to before my knees, and I knew exactly what it was. So when I stood up, and I'm just in shock. But then in my head, I'm thinking, bro, and I'm calling myself bro. I know, bro, stay the fuck calm. Don't run because it's only gonna get worse. Something like, how do I get out of here right now? Like how? But then seriously, is God always plans things out for you, right? So when I stood up and then he realized, okay, this whole thing tak jadi, like whatever he wanted to put in me tak jadi. I because at that time I was still practicing meditation, which I don't really recommend unless you really know what you're doing.
So you were quite strong, so this thing can't really go inside you.
More like because of what Abang said when you membantah, because you need permission.
Yes, that's true.
He did it without permission. So when I'm like, no, you can't get in me, you can't use my body, it came out. But you have to be strong enough, and you have to think quickly enough to fight it.
It's like, oh hell no.
We've seen this in all these demonic movies. You cannot enter without permission. Right? You cannot.
Correct.
You have to allow it.
Yeah, you have to allow it. So he thought I was weak. Probably he was probably just trying his luck.
Little did he know, Rosie is strong, girl.
No, but what I think happened was probably I don't know, maybe God arranged it in such a way where it's like a lesson for him to know that, okay, you can't do this to like every Tom, Dick and Harry, or just to stop doing it to, if he's
Every
doing
Tom,
it.
Dick and Rosie, you can't do
If
this.
he's doing it to anybody else, oh my God, that'll be so scary, okay? It went like this. So when I stood up, I said, bro, kau buat apa? And then he was like, mana ada buat apa-apa? So I'm like, okay, he wants to play that game. So I'm like, okay, chill, just you will get out of here, don't worry about anything. Then he goes to the toilet. He says, kejap, nak pergi tandas kejap. Just like that, from trying to put a thing in me to like, I'm going to the loo.
These balls,
Bloody
this guy.
shit,
The
man.
balls on this motherfucker.
So he went to the toilet, but what he was actually doing, so when he went to the toilet, I just got straight into my meditation like pose. Like I didn't care, I just sat. Like I said, which I don't really recommend. I just sat and I just like tuned into like what the hell just happened. Immediately I got a tiger. When I closed my eyes, it was Hisaka. So then I knew, oh, okay, this guy keeps something. It was Hisaka. He doesn't know better, so it's okay, just let it go and just try and get out of there. So while he was there, he was trying to put a forgetting spell on me. Up on that, he was trying to put a forgetting spell on me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna play along. So when he came back, then he just acted like, so besok buat apa?
Oh, he thought you forgot. He thought it worked.
My question is, why didn't you get the fuck out of there when he went to the
but she wanted to remain cool. That's
there was nobody else there, right?
There's the boy.
There's the
Okay,
boy.
this is okay. Wait, I missed out one part. So while he was in the toilet and he was doing the forgetting spell, I knew that I'm just gonna play along with his forgetting spell and get out of there. The same time, I picked. Okay, the boy is sitting in front of me, right? At one point, before I closed my eyes, our eyes met. Eyes met. I closed my eyes. I saw the tiger,
Hisaka.
and then I saw a lady in a mauve scarf, the long ones. It was the boy's mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I picked up on the boy's mom. So she's, I think, what's the word? Really holy, pious, like a Muslim lady.
Yeah.
So I opened my eyes and I looked at him and I'm like, Mama mana? And then he's like, Mama ada. And then I asked him again, like, Mama, you tahu ke you buat semua ni?
Because she's alim, right? Very alim.
Yeah. And that's when he started crying.
You got him.
I got chills.
You got it.
I saw his because he started crying when the other guy came back from the toilet. He just got out and he's like, Abang nak balik sekarang lah. And then he got his stuff. So that was the same time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go home as well. So that's how I got out of there safe. So that's my story. Story doesn't end there.
Okay. Oh, wow. This is like,
Okay.
So of course when I get into the car, I'm like shaking and I'm like,
I gotta breathe. Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
like part 2, 3, 4 here.
so I get home, right, and then I get a text from him. Okay, this guy, he goes, I think to be sure that the forgetting spell worked on me, he sends me a bila nak lepak lagi. Check this out, from a business thing to like lepak. So I said, I'm not gonna see you anymore, I know who you are. And as I was about to block him, I I get a message of like a thing written in Jawi
From him.
full on paragraph written in Jawi, and bam, I fell. I lost control of my whole body, and I was just on the floor in my house.
Right before you wanted to block him, he sensed that.
Yes.
Oh my God. Ooh.
And then now I'm just on the floor. I cannot speak. My mom's downstairs. I'm upstairs. I can't say anything. I can't move. I feel like I just got electrocuted. And so I'm just trying to fight this thing, right? So I crawl to my Bible. Then I open my Bible and I start just reading it because I can. So now I'm still on the floor, yeah. I'm literally crying. It was like a war zone where I got hit by something, and I'm just trying to
So you put the special effects, the
struggle
bombs,
to stay alive.
the war is going through right
It
now.
literally is spiritual warfare. So I get to my Bible and I start reading it, and it slowly goes away. And finally I can speak, and this whole thing goes away. And I'm like, okay, this whole other world is not to be messed with. You got to be so careful who you meet. You got to be so careful. I don't know, like new people, business proposals, and people who do all these things. You never know.
You know, this is really good insights, you know, for people.
Yeah.
I mean, we would never think this would be a thing. When we heard of it, just imagine a girl, you know, asked us to meet her to do business. She wants to put her soccer into us.
Here's the weird thing, right? I was in the office one day, and then someone runs into the office and goes, hey, they caught something on camera. Come and see. I'm like, what camera? The CCTV. I'm like, okay.
Oh, shit.
So all the managers, all the head of departments, all the chiefs came to the security room where the recording is done, right? And here's the weird thing, right? So again, I'll put everything into context. So here's the lobby so here's the lift, okay? If you imagine the lift is here, door opens this way. This is sort of the reception area on the second floor. You have a wall. So it's like the wall is like this. It's like a L-shaped wall that goes like this. Okay, this is the door to the rest of the office. You have to cross the bridge, right? At this wall, behind this wall is the security room. Okay, there's a camera over here at the corner, so that if anyone would come in through the thing, you can see like how would I say this? Like a 90-degree view from this side all the way to this side, right? Now, this camera only switches on at night when there's movement.
It's a motion
detection thing, right? So I remember the timestamp on the thing was like around 2:30, 2:40, around that time. It's something like that. I don't remember the exact time, but I know it was like between 2 and 3, right? Yeah. And it came on. So everyone goes, as we got into the room, they go, okay, I'm going to press play. So the person pressed play and goes, okay. So and he explained to us, so this thing only captures, only switches on at night when there's movement. So we're like, okay, so what moved? What came in? So he's like, just watch the thing. Just watch it. So I was like, okay. So what it had done was it was actually capturing footage of something. So here's it was like I would call it a little alleyway that led to the boardroom. Okay. So the boardroom is on the left. It's a glass door. Okay. And on this side, like as I mentioned, it's the security room. It's a wall, right? Now, this is one of those Naik Bulu things for me. Every time I tell this story, my bulu naik lah. Right? I get goosebumps and whatnot, right? Yep. So the weird thing about this one is that I was ready to take out my camera. And I was ready to press record because I wanted to obviously put this on social media, right? Sure. But then when I realized, I was like, wait a second. This thing, because when I watched it, because I was going to tell them, okay, I'm going to just see it first and then I'll get them to replay it and I'll record it. But then when I watched the video, so this is what happened, right? The wall where the security room is suddenly. So what happened is,
man, he's creating this suspense. Like, God damn,
I love the details. I love the details.
You gotta imagine this. You're looking at this footage of a wall.
Yeah.
On the left is a glass door that leads to the boardroom. On the right is a wall as well. And I was looking at the thing, and I noticed suddenly out of nowhere, an orb, a small speck appeared, and it was vibrating. So the thing is about, like, let's say for example, if you were recording something and you had a dirt on a camera, there's no vibration. It's just it's there. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But this thing had vibration. Like you could tell it was vibrating, and I was the only one to notice it because I was like, guys, did you see? There's an orb right in the middle of the screen, and everyone goes, where? But all of a sudden, right, this black figure comes out from the right side. Dude, I'm like literally look, dude. It's like it comes out from the right wall where the security room is, and it's like if you watch Harry Potter, you know, there's these ghosts. They're like a cloudy black
like
thing.
Smoky,
and they're like smoky.
Dementors. Yeah.
It was is that the thing?
The Dementors. Yeah.
So this Dementor like thing came out of the wall. It floated across, and then it actually went into the glass door, switched on the light, and disappeared into the room. Okay, and I looked at the thing and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna record this because whatever it is, it came out from this room, and it went into the boardroom, and it could probably be watching playing this thing.
Yeah.
And if I record it, it's gonna follow me home. I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I told myself, like, you know what? Let's just be part of memory.
Prevention is better than cure.
All those stories that people have told me, it manifested itself on CCTV.
Yeah, there's one that is very strange. It's called the Midnight Train.
Got title also.
Yeah.
That's also a movie.
So the Midnight Train is. I used to remember that it happens on a particular year. It doesn't happen every year. There's a certain year gap that it happens on a night in November after like people have the school term is over. People has just gone home, but it started out in, like, if I'm not mistaken, it's in the 60s. So it's a particular dome. That's the thing. All these ghosts are like it is associated with the location. So this Midnight Train is associated with this particular dome. So what happened is, like, this kid, he was supposed to take the train back to KL, but then, you know, he missed the train, so he had to stay at the dome for another night to wait for the next day's train. So he was staying at the dome, and then he was like, I think he was alone. So while waiting, it was already night, and then he heard, like, you know, people marching, like. So he looked out the window, and then he saw, like, in the field there's, like, you know, like a military.
Whoa. Like a full infantry?
Yeah, full military, like lining up, queuing, and then doing their marching and all that.
Okay.
So he got panicked, he got scared, he was running, and then he ran back into the dome. And then weird thing is, suddenly the dome will be shaking, and then it will become very loud. And then the dome is quite wide, so it's like wall, bed, and then there's a gap in the middle.
Right.
A fucking train pull up into the dome.
No.
And then somebody from inside the train grab him, pull him into the train, and the train like
I guess you didn't miss it after all.
Yeah, so he missed that train, but he got into another train.
Wow, that's strange.
And then yeah. and the rumor was that he was discovered back like 4 years later.
You're kidding.
He was the same age.
No.
But he was, you know, delivered back to that same dome.
Right.
And the same night, but just 4 years later.
Oh my
and
God.
Then, you know, like, but by that time people assumed that he was dead. So he went back to his family, and then at first people accused him of, impersonating a missing child. So he got into like legal problem and all that.
Right. Because he's the same kid.
Yeah.
How much can he really change in 4 years, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was like, I think people has grieved and moved on, and suddenly like.
So basically, people think he's a different kid.
Yeah, because he
right?
age, because he was the same age when he went.
Like, is this somebody trying to be that kid, trying to be like a prank?
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah, so that was like one story that really like. Fuck.
Where is this dorm?
Yeah,
it's in my school. It's
your school too?
Yeah, it's all happening.
You call it
It's all like the law of my that happened.
Man, your school's got a lot of movies. His school's got a lot of movies we can rank.
Kalau Kangsa is keras, ya.